In this video, I'm gonna be talking about an idea that popped up in my head while making the last video, which was also my first video on YouTube. By the way, thank you so much if you liked and commented on my video, and even more so if you subscribed to my channel, because it did give me the confidence boost I needed, and I'm so happy and grateful. Please do the same for this video because I'm pouring my heart into this one. Hello, I'm Aruha, and on this channel I talk about my slow and minimal life to inspire yours. So the idea I wanted to talk to you about today is mental minimalism. In the last video I mentioned that minimalism was largely about consumption of material things for me. However, it occurred to me while I was making my first video that what if I put this idea of consciously consuming material things to my mind so that I could manage my thoughts and emotions. In fact, I got distracted by it and rambled on about this in the last video for about 20 minutes, but then when I saw my video, it was just a little bit too raw, so I cut it all off and decided I'd make a whole separate video about this. Can you imagine my disappointment when I got to know that this idea already exists on the internet? However, I had journaled about my own thought process before I searched about it, so this video is still gonna be pretty raw considering I'm basing this on my initial thought process. I overthink a lot, and maybe you do too. It makes us miserable, but boy, do we enjoy being hyper aware at all the times and one thought or idea popping after another, especially if you're also creatives. To make matters worse for me, I was diagnosed with OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, a couple of years back. Just to be clear, it is not a penchant for cleaning and organizing. In simple and general terms, it's a disorder where your mind obsesses over certain things and cannot relax unless you perform certain compulsions. For me, both my obsessions and compulsions tend to be mental. Believe me when I say that my mind can be a terrifying, haunted house at times. A good thing that I have understood about OCD is that it is nothing but a big fat lie. So as soon as I catch that the ghosts I'm seeing are not real, I tend to find my way out of the haunted house. However, the real ordeal is to catch that. I mean, you're seeing a ghost right in front of your eyes. It's not easy to call it made up and pass right through it. So this is how I understand my OCD. Overthinking is just an easy label to put in front of the people when I get asked about my anxiety, especially because I'm done trying to tell people that I'm not some crazy cleaning lady, and also because it's very hard for me to explain what exactly goes on in my head. And honestly, overthinking in itself is a huge problem. So after the last video, I ended up thinking, why not create a system to process my thoughts and emotions more efficiently. Of course, this does not mean caging my mind in a box, which was the initial thought that occurred to me. But then I realized, if anything, this is going to free up my mind and make me happier and more creative. There's this reminder that my ex-therapist tried to instill in me, and I often use it as an affirmation. It is, my thoughts are not facts, only suggestions. This means that our thoughts are not truths written on stone. They're just suggestions that our mind is giving, and not because we are at war with our own minds, but because our minds are trying to protect us. But it's on us to choose which thoughts we take with us and which thoughts we let go of. However, to take your thoughts as suggestions is not easy, especially if your mind is coming up with reasons, often unreasonable, to prove each thought to you, and you end up being stuck in this endless cycle of overthinking, often leading to anxiety. So I came up with a solution. I made a Notion database. I literally wonder if there's a problem in my life that I haven't tried to solve by making a Notion database. Anyways, I called it my book of truths. I wrote down the truths about my life that I know to be true so that I could grasp reality when I'm stuck in a haunted house. This might sound basic, but Honestly, I cannot even grasp something as basic as the truths about my own life when I'm stuck in a haunted house surrounded by made up but very real ghosts. This is definitely more helpful for me considering I'm struggling with OCD. However, if you overthink, you can also make a database. Well, it doesn't have to be Notion database. You can make a Google Doc or sheet and write down some reminders that you know to be true about your life so that you can always come back to it and feel reassured. I would definitely give therapy its due credit. It's not an easy task to separate your thoughts from yourself, and therapy has definitely helped me do that. Another tip I can give you to stop yourself from overthinking and getting stuck in the negative thoughts, especially about yourself, is creating a wins sheet. That too is on my Notion for me, but again, you can make it anywhere. But I definitely encourage you to check Notion because I love it. I think it's been about 4 years since I've been using it and I still love it. I open my database at least once a week and write down my wins, big or small. My wins have been as small as I made an excellent pound cake today, or I did the dishes despite being very, very anxious, and as big as I published my first YouTube video. I have been maintaining my wins sheet for 2 years now, and I cannot tell you how beautiful it feels to go through that database, especially on your low days. Another thing I'm trying to practice is staying in the present, because we all know that's all we have. That's all we ever had or will ever have. Goodness, I did not mean this to become a grammar class, but here we are. Anyways, I started this habit of taking early morning brain dumps earlier this year, but I guess I stopped when we moved to this apartment because I was busy, so much was going around in my life. I was having sleep problems, which was affecting my routine, so it was just a bit all over the place. But I'm restarting this habit. It's just writing one page in my diary. The goal of this is to just put all the clutter in my head and put it down on one piece of paper and be done with it. If you try doing this, you'll see it just really means starting afresh each morning. So taking a brain dump could look different for you. If you do not want to do it in the traditional pen and paper way, you can always type it either on your computer or on your phone, or you could record yourself for a few minutes. The whole idea of including this habit into your everyday routine is to let go of your thoughts and emotions, which are often about your past or future, so that your present, that is today, can take the spotlight. So for now, my system to mental minimalism looks like this: looking at my book of truths at least once a week, writing down my thoughts and emotions on a piece of paper every morning. So these are the things that are a bit new to my routine, and updating my wins sheet is something I already do on a weekly basis. I do want to mention a few other things that I do on a consistent basis, and those are taking therapy and weekly journaling. So those were the big things. Some other smaller things that I do fairly consistently to relax my mind and in hindsight declutter it are reading, cooking, and going out on walks. Even though it's still super hot in Dubai, even at night. Last night I went out on a walk at 11 p.m. and it was so hot. I'm so done with this weather right now. I'm just mentioning everything that I do regularly to give you a bigger picture, because I don't want you to think that I'm just doing one or two of those things and still improving my mental health. Okay, so this is something I should mention before I go. Creating a system takes time, practice, and A/B testing. It doesn't happen overnight. With all that I have mentioned in this video, you probably can see that I still do not have a substantial system in place, despite actively working on my mental health for over 2 years now. But at the same time, it's getting somewhere. In fact, I want to tell you this, that if I've ever done anything well on a consistent basis, it has been through putting some sort of a system in place. Maybe that's a video for another time. For now, I'll take your leave. I hope this video was valuable to you. See you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and do remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Bye.